Welcome to the tutorial on how to solve the Rubik's Cube. Before we get started, there's a few preliminaries I must go over with you. First, I'm going to discuss the structure of the Rubik's Cube. So I've taken it apart here, and as you can see, we have this core that has these faces that turn, and as you notice, they will not turn in relation to each other. I'm going to call these pieces center pieces, which correspond to this middle part of the cube, and these are the parts that you actually turn. And like I mentioned, they do not turn in relation to each other. The next pieces I'm going to go over are edge pieces, which have two stickers on them. So they correspond to these pieces right here, and they will not come apart. Similarly, we also have corners right here, but this time we have three stickers, and these correspond to these pieces on the corner like this. And just like with the edges, these will not come apart. So with all this in mind, we have 20 pieces right here that we have to position in relation to each other so that the cube is solved. So the way we're going to be doing this is we're going to be doing it in layers. The first step is going to be solving the green cross. So what that means is we're going to take the edges that contain a green sticker on them, and we are going to solve them in relation to where they need to be positioned on the cube. That is, we're going to solve these green edges just like this and just put them into their positions. We are then going to do the exact same thing, except this time for the green corners. So that is, we're going to take the four corners that contain a green sticker, and we're going to place them on the cube where they need to go. So now we have this first layer right here that is completely solved like this. The next part is we're going to be filling in these middle edge pieces right here to create the second layer. After we do that, we'll have these two layers right here that are all solved with each other. And then the last part is going to be to do this top layer right here, which is going to have to be done in a different way, but I will explain that as we go. Next, I'm going to be going over notation for the cube. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing a lot of algorithms, which are basically a sequence of moves that does a certain action to the cube. As an example right here, this algorithm here will cycle these three edges right here. But to be able to read the algorithm, you have to learn the notation for the cube. So the way this is going to work is you're going to see a capital letter, and that letter is going to represent a move you're going to do. The three letters we're going to be using in this tutorial are F, U, and R. F is going to stand for the front face, so if you're holding the cube like this, the front face right here would be white. And then if you see a U, that stands for the up face, which will be this one right here. And if you see an R, that stands for the right face, which is going to be this one right here. When you see one of those letters, that's going to tell you which of these faces you're going to have to turn. If you see just the letter itself, you are going to turn the face clockwise. So if you're looking at it from above like this, you're going to be turning it in the direction that a clock turns, just like this. So if you see a U, you're going to make this move right here. If you see an F, you're going to make this move right here. And if you see an R, you're going to make this move right here. If the letter is immediately followed by a prime symbol, that means you're going to turn the face counterclockwise or in the reverse direction of clockwise. So if you see a U prime, you're going to turn the up face in this direction like this. If you see an F prime, you're going to turn the front face in this direction like this. And if you see an R prime, you're going to turn the right face in this direction just like this. If you see a 2 immediately following the letter, that means you're going to turn that face 180 degrees. So if you see a U2, you're going to turn the face all the way around like this, which, as you probably noticed, is equivalent to doing U, U. And the same thing applies on every other face. So if you see an R2, you're going to turn the right face like this. And if you see an F2, you're going to turn the front face like this. And that is all the notation you're going to need to know. Lastly, in this tutorial, I'm going to be using these black pieces right here that do not have a sticker on them. When you see this, any of these black stickers can be any color. As an example, right here where we have the first two layers solved like this, it could represent this state of the cube, for example, where we have the top layer scrambled like this. It could also represent this other state of the cube. This is done to help make it clear exactly what you're working on. So essentially, whenever you see these black pieces, that means that for the step you're working on, you're not going to be worrying about these pieces for the moment. And this is to make it very clear what exactly you're doing on the cube. So with all those preliminaries, we're going to go ahead and get started. The first step is we're going to be creating the green cross like this. And this is probably going to be the hardest part to learn. So note here that we have these green edges and they're also solved with their respective centers like this. This case here, for example, would not be considered solved because as you can see, these colors right here are different. We're going to be solving the cross in 3 parts. The first part will be to put all of the edges that contain green on the side that's opposite from green, which in this case is going to be blue. We will then orient all of the edges so that their green sticker is touching the blue center like this. Finally, we will place all of the green edges in their correct spots like this. So for the first part here where we get all of the green edges up to the blue, I'm going to be using these white edges to represent a green edge. So when you see one of them, it represents an edge that contains a green sticker, but it could be in any one of these places right here. So the way we're going to do this is we're going to do it one edge at a time. So we're going to choose an edge right here, for example, and what we're going to have to do is move it onto the blue face. So this is a rather intuitive step, and I would encourage you to kind of play around with this and kind of figure it out for yourself. But the way we're going to do this is we're first going to identify one of the faces it's on. So we want to identify one of the non-green faces right here. So these faces here represent a non-green face, and we want to use this face and basically turn this piece onto the blue side like this. So we can kind of just turn it like that, and we match it up with the blue. Another example right here, we have 2 options right here. We can turn either one of these non-green faces, like we could do this, or we could also do this. Either one brings the edge piece onto the blue side. But one thing we also have to be careful of is when we do that move, we want to make sure we're not moving one of these pieces off of the blue face. So in this case right here, we have this center, which is the one we're going to have to move, but we have this edge that is attached to the center. So what we can do instead is we can move the blue face to push it out of the way like this, and now we can actually bring this down without moving anything out. Another example is this piece right here. It's attached to both of these centers, so either one can be used, but in either case it's going to push one of these pieces out. So what we can do is we can move the blue face so that now there's an open spot to move it into the blue spot like this. And again, you're just going to kind of have to play around with this a bit, and this honestly I think is probably going to be the hardest part of the solve. Alright, so I'll do like a little walkthrough solve right here. So this piece right here is already on the blue side, so we don't have to worry about that. Right here we have this piece, so if we wanted to use this non-green face right here to move it in, it would push this one out. So instead what we can do is we can turn the blue face to push this one right here out of the way, and now we can bring this in. And then if we want to move on to this piece right here, this here is the non-green face that it's on, and as you can see we have this other edge that's sort of attached right here, so we can move it out of the way using the blue face like this, and now we can actually move this down right here. And then for this last one, both of these non-green faces right here are an option, but for both of them we again have this case where we have one of these green edges in the way. So what we can do instead is we can move this over here like this, and then we can move it down. After we've put all of the green edges on the blue face like this, we now have to flip any of the edges where the green sticker does not touch the blue center. The way we're going to do this is we first need to identify an edge that is not flipped correctly, as in this case right here. We're going to hold the cube like this with this edge up front like this. And then we're going to do the following algorithm. We're going to go F, U prime, R, U. And as you can see, we have flipped that edge while not disturbing anything else. So we have another flipped edge right here, so we'll have to do it again. So once again, we're going to go F, U prime, R, U. And now as you can see, we have all the edges flipped correctly where the green sticker is touching the blue center like this. Now we're going to put all the edges in their correct places. So the way we're going to do this is we're first going to take one of the green edges and we're going to look at the other sticker on it. So in this case right here, it'll be orange. So what we're going to want to do is we need to turn the blue face and we need to match it up with its correct center. So right here, as you can see, it's still not correct because the center is red. If we move the blue face again, we have it lined up with white, that's still not correct. But if we line it up like this, now we have it aligned with the orange center, which is correct. Once it's aligned with its correct center like this, we're going to turn that center 180 degrees. So in this case right here, we have the orange center, which we're going to turn 180 degrees just like this. And then you're going to repeat this process for the other three edges. So we'll take this one right here, which is green and red. So this center right here is yellow, that's not correct. Right here it's orange, still not correct. Right here it's white, still not correct. But now it's aligned with the red center, which is correct. So we can turn the red center 180 degrees just like this. Right here we have the green-white edge, so if we turn it like this, we have aligned it with the white center, and now we can turn the white center 180 degrees like this. And lastly, we have this one right here, the green and yellow, which we can align like this to the yellow center, and then turn the yellow center 180 degrees. And as you can see, we have now solved the cross. Now I'm going to do a full example solve of solving the green cross. So right here we have this first piece that's already on the blue face like this, so we'll go find another one that's not. So we'll take this one right here for example. So as you can see, the non-green face it's on in this case is white, so we can use the white face to turn it and put it in position on the blue side like this. Next we can go to this piece right here, and as you can see, we can turn the red face and put it into position, and it doesn't move anything out of the way because this piece right here is not green. So we'll go ahead and do that, and then this last piece right here is attached to red and white, so we can turn one of those, but as you can see in both of them, it'll push one of these green edges out. So I'll turn the blue face, and now on the red face right here we don't have a green edge, so we can just push this right in, and now we have all of our green edges on the top like this. So now we have to go and flip all of them. So this first one right here is already flipped for us, so what we can do is go to this one right here, which is not flipped, and we can apply our algorithm, which is F U prime R U. And now we can go over to this one right here where we can do the same thing, so we'll go F U prime R U. And then we have one more right here, and we can go F U prime R U. And now we have all of our green edges flipped correctly up here. Next we're going to put all the green edges on the bottom in the correct place. So we'll start with this one right here, which has red on it. So we can turn it, and right here it is matched up with its correct center, in this case red. So we can turn this red face 180 degrees to put this down here like that. Go into the white and green edge right here, it's already put in the correct place, so we can just immediately turn this white face 180 degrees like this. And it looks like we also have the orange one set up like this, so we can turn the orange face 180 degrees. And luckily enough, we also have the same thing for the yellow and green edge, so we can turn the yellow face 180 degrees. And now as you can see, our cross is solved. So one more preliminary I want to address before we continue on with the rest of the solve is that between each step, you're allowed to move the blue face or the face opposite of green freely between each step. So after each step, you're allowed to move this completely freely without disturbing anything. And this is going to be very important because the way the rest of the solve is going to work is you're going to use this blue face to move pieces into position, and then you're going to apply an algorithm to solve those pieces, and then you will repeat the same process throughout the solve until you're done. So keep this in mind as we go. The next step is going to be to solve the green corners just like this. So the way we're going to solve the corners is we're going to be solving them one corner at a time. So the first thing we want to do is we want to find a green corner like this. So we have the green, orange, white corner, and then we want to find the spot that it goes in, which is over here like this. So we want to position the spot so it's on the lower right like this, and then turning the blue face like this, we want to position the corner so that it's right above like this in the upper right. We're then going to apply the following algorithm, and you will have to apply this algorithm up to 5 times, and you just apply it until the corner has been put down there solved. So the algorithm is R, U, R prime, U prime. Now as you can see, it's down here, but it's not flipped correctly, so we're going to have to do the algorithm again. R, U, R prime, U prime. So it's still not down there correctly, so we'll do it again. R, U, R prime, U prime. So we have it down there, but it's still not flipped correctly, so we got to do it again. R, U, R prime, U prime. Still not down there correctly, so we'll do it again. R, U, R prime, U prime. And now as you can see, it's been put down there and it is flipped correctly. Now you might find this case right here where the corner is in the correct spot but flipped wrong like this. If you see that happening, put this spot right here where it's supposed to go in the bottom right just like normal, and then do the algorithm once. So we're going to go R, U, R prime, U prime. And what that's going to do is it's going to take the corner out, and then you're just going to solve it like I showed you in the previous part. So we'll apply the algorithm from here. R, U, R prime, U prime. And as you can see, the corner is now put in there solved. You might also find the case where the corner is in the wrong spot, like this case for example, where we have the orange, white, green corner, but it's in the spot where the green, white, red corner is supposed to go. If this happens, position the corner so that it's in the bottom right, just like this, and then you want to do the algorithm I showed you once. So we'll go R, U, R prime, U prime, and what that'll do is it'll take the corner out, and then you just solve it like you normally would. So what we'll do here is we'll take the spot right here where it's supposed to go, put it in the bottom right like this, and then we're going to move this corner using the blue face into the position like this, and then we'll do the algorithm again. R, U, R prime, U prime, and doing it just that one time, in this case, put the corner in there correctly, but remember that you might have to do that up to 5 times. And then you just repeat this exact same process for the other 3 corners. The next step is going to be to solve these middle edges right here that go between the non-green or blue centers. So the way we're going to be solving these edges is quite similar to how we solved the corners in the previous step. So first we want to identify one of the edges that goes down there. So we have the yellow and orange, which is going to go in this spot. So what we're going to want to do is we want to turn the blue face until we have this sticker right here match with its proper center like this, which in this case is yellow. Next we want to position the slot that it needs to go to, or this spot right here, on the right like this. Now there's 2 cases that you can get here. The first one being where it's on the left side like this. But you can also get the case right here where it's on the right side like this. If it is on the left side, we're going to do the following algorithm. So we're going to go U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, F prime, U, F. And as you can see, this edge has now been put into the correct spot. If, however, it's on the right like this, you're instead going to do U prime, F prime, U, F, U, R, U prime, R prime. And as you can see, it has once again put the edge in the correct spot. Just like with the previous step, you might find that it's in the correct spot but flipped wrong like this. If that happens, you want to again hold it so that this spot right here is on the right like this, and then you want to do either one of the algorithms I showed you, and it doesn't matter which one you do here. So I'm going to do the case where it was on the left. So we're going to go U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, F prime, U, F. And then what that's going to do is it's going to take this piece out like this, and then you're just going to solve it the way that I showed you previously. So we want to turn the blue face until it matches with its center like this. Hold it in this spot right here where we have it on the right, and as you can see in this case, we have the left case. So we're going to go U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, F prime, U, F. And as you can see, this edge is now put in there correctly. You might also find that you have an edge stuck in the wrong spot like this. If that happens, just like with the last case, you want to do either one of the algorithms I showed you, and once again, it doesn't matter which one. So what we'll do here is we'll put this on the right, and I'm going to do the right algorithm this time. So it's going to go U prime, F prime, U, F, U, R, U prime, R prime. And that's going to take the edge out like this, and you then just solve it like you normally would. So it's already matched with its center right here, which is yellow, and we have the left case right here, so we're going to go U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, F prime, U, F. And as you can see, we have now solved that edge. And you're just going to repeat this exact same process for the other 3 edges. The next step is to create a blue cross on the top like this, and notice how the position of the edges does not matter like it did for the green cross. So there's 3 cases that you can get here. The first one is this one where we have these 2 edges that are flipped correctly on the top that are across like this. If you get this case right here, we're going to do the following algorithm like this. So we're going to go F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. And as you can see, our cross is now solved. The next case you can get is where we have these 2 edges that are flipped correctly that are adjacent to each other or right next to each other like this. When we get this case, we're going to do the same algorithm as we did last time from this position. So we're going to go F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. And that'll set it up into the previous case we just had, which will just go F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. And we're done. The last case we could get is this one where we don't have any edges flipped correctly. If you get this case from any angle, just do the algorithm I showed you. So we'll go F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime, and then that's going to set it up into this case that I just showed you. So from this position, we'll again go F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime, which will then give us this case right here. And for this one, we just go F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime, and we're done. Now you might have noticed that if we start with this case, we kind of go in a cycle until we get to the solved case. So we start with this one, then we get to this one right here, this one, and then finally the solved case. And you basically just start wherever you are in the cycle until you get to the end like this. And I bring this up because this is going to be a recurring theme for the rest of the solve. In the next step, we're going to be doing the exact same thing as the previous one, except this time to the corners. So we'll start with this case right here where we have one of the corners flipped correctly like this. When you get this case, you want to put that corner so that it's in this left position up front right here. And then we're going to do the following algorithm, which is going to be R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. Now doing that algorithm may or may not flip all the corners correctly, so if it doesn't work the first time, do the exact same thing once again from this position. So we're going to go R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime, and as you can see this time it worked. If you run into a case where we have 2 corners flipped correctly like this, what we want to do is we want to turn the top layer until we can get a blue sticker in this precise position like this on the front in the upper left like this. And then from here, we want to do the algorithm I just showed you. So we're going to go R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And then that's going to set it up into this previous case I just showed you where we have just one corner oriented correctly. So we'll put it in this position, do the algorithm again, which is R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. Didn't work the first time, so we have to do it one more time. So R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime, and we're done. If you get a case like this where we have no corners flipped correctly, just like with the last case, we want to put a blue sticker in this position. So you want to turn the blue face until we have a blue sticker in this position right here. And then we're going to do the same algorithm that we've been using. So we're going to go R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And that's going to set it up with the case where we have 2 corners flipped correctly. So once again, we want to put a blue sticker back in that spot like this and do the algorithm again. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And that will leave us with the case where we have 1 corner oriented correctly. So we put that corner right here in this spot, do the algorithm again. R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. Didn't work the first time, so we have to do it again. So we'll go R, U, R prime, U, R, U2, R prime. And as you can see, we have flipped all of the corners correctly. The next step is we're going to be taking all the blue corners and placing them in the correct spots like this. So we'll start with the first case right here where we have these 2 corners kind of solved like this in relation to each other. when we have this, we want to place them on the left side like this, and we're going to do this algorithm right here. So we're going to go R, U, R prime, F prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime. And then that will solve all the corners like this, and you're done. If you're unable to find two solved corners like I showed you in the previous part, then you're just going to have to do that same algorithm from any angle, and two of them will magically show up. So from here we're just going to go R, U, R prime, F prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime. And as you can see right here, two of the corners have solved with each other. So we'll put them on the left and we'll do the algorithm again. R, U, R prime, F prime, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, F, R2, U prime, R prime. And as you can see, the corners are now solved with each other. The final step of the solve is going to be doing the exact same thing as the previous step, except this time with the edges. So we'll start off with this case right here where we have one edge that is solved like this, and for the other three edges between the corners, they are not solved. So if you get this case here, we want to position that solved edge right up front like this, and we're going to do this algorithm. R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R. And it may not work the first time, so if that doesn't solve the edges, you will have to do it one more time. So in this case, we'll go R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R. And as you can see, that has solved all the edges in relation to the corners. If you cannot find an edge that is solved with a corner, then you're just going to have to do the same algorithm from any angle, and one solved corner will magically pop up. So from here we'll just go R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R. And as you can see, we now have this edge right here that is solved with the corners. So once again, we'll do the algorithm from this angle. So we'll go R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R. Didn't work the first time, so we have to do it one more time. So R2, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R. And that has solved the edges with the corners. And at this point, the only thing that is left to do is to turn the blue face and to solve the cube, and congratulations, you have solved the Rubik's Cube. Now, some of those algorithms that I showed you might have looked a bit long and might be hard to remember, so what you might want to do is to create yourself a cheat sheet where you write down all of the algorithms, and you would then have to remember how to do the setup, which in my opinion is actually the hardest part of this. Because following the algorithm sequence is pretty straightforward, but it's more difficult to get the setup right, and that's the part that's really critical because otherwise the algorithms are not going to work. And then once you want to actually start memorizing the algorithm so that you don't have to look at your cheat sheet again, you don't have to memorize the letters of the algorithms. You could instead just memorize the moves and kind of how they work. As an example, if we do the algorithm from the 6th step, watch these two pieces as I do the algorithm. So you can kind of just watch how the pieces move around, and another thing you can do is kind of develop muscle memory where you just kind of know like the moves you have to do, not necessarily the letters of the moves, and this should hopefully help to ease in memorization. So this concludes the tutorial. Thank you all for watching, and please feel free to share it with your friends, and have a nice day.